What's going on, movie fans? My name is Michael Weer. I love talking about movies, and it is officially September of 2023, which means we get to talk about all of the upcoming September 2023 movie releases that are on my personal radar. Now, I say it like that because just like in previous videos that I've made this year, these are the movies that I'm looking forward to, the movies that I'm going to attempt to see in theaters. Don't get to all of them all the time, unfortunately, but I'm going to try and watch these and review these right here on this channel. And if I miss one, if there's something that's streaming that I haven't heard about, or something that a theatrical release date's been moved around and I haven't heard about it, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what it is and why you're looking forward to it. And finally, before getting into those releases, I would invite you all to subscribe to my channel if this is the first time you found me. If you like movies, movie reviews, or just Blu-ray talk, I talk about my Blu-ray collection all the time. I would love for you guys to subscribe. We're coming up on the spooky season, so expect a bunch of horror movies. Let's get into September of 2023. On September 1st, guys, the biggest movie that everybody's been talking about, at least in my circles, is Equalizer 3. This is, of course, the third movie starring Denzel Washington as the Equalizer. It started as a TV show a long time ago, and then you've got the Equalizer movie that came out back in 2009, something like that. It had Chloe Grace Moretz in it, so she was extremely popular at that time as well. And then Equalizer 2 came out, and I skipped it. I still haven't seen it to this day, and I'm set to go see Equalizer 3 tonight, so hopefully I can just kind of jump into Denzel Washington acting as John Wick. That's kind of what the movie is. Another movie coming out on the 1st. This is a movie that I'm going to go see with my wife this weekend, and that is Don't Look Away. This is a movie about a killer possessed mannequin. It's going to be a low-budget horror movie. I get it, but I'm looking forward to checking it out with her. And the third movie coming out on September 1st is R.L. Stine's Zombie Town. This is a movie that if my kids were a little older, I'd be taking them all to go see it this weekend. It just looks a little too PG-13 for my little kids, so I'm not going to take them to see this. But it's a movie about this town that when people watch a video, it turns them into zombies. At least that's what I got from the preview. So yeah, it's an R.L. Stine Goosebumps adjacent movie. That's what it's going to feel like, and I do look forward to checking it out. I'm a big fan of R.L. Stine, his work, so yeah, Zombie Town. Let me know if you're going to check that out. I'm curious if anybody else has heard about this movie, because I just heard about it yesterday. Moving on to September 8th, guys, we have Self-Reliance. Self-Reliance is a movie about a guy who enters a contest where he can win $1 million if he survives, but surviving the game means outwitting all of these killers that are currently after him. The only time they're allowed to kill him is if he's alone, and so he teams up with anybody that he can to stay alive because they cannot kill him if he's with someone else. It's a very strange concept. The movie looks very funny. I'm looking forward to it on September 8th. The next movie coming out on September 8th will be the next movie in the Conjuring universe. It has been since 2020 since we've got an entry into the Conjuring universe, and that is The Nun 2. I'm looking forward to this. I thought the first Nun was a very scary movie, but most of the big reveals were in the trailer. That's what hurt that movie. And I really loved the Nun character Valak in The Conjuring 2. So I've always liked the Conjuring universe. That I can watch any of those movies and have an enjoyable time. Yes, even La Llorona. But getting into The Nun 2, The Nun is still continuing on its journey towards the Warrens. That's the best way I could put it, because the first time you see the Warrens and the Nun square off, it's in The Conjuring 2, and then they go back in time for The Nun, and it looks like it's right in the middle of those events for The Nun 2, and I'm looking forward to it. Those movies, something about The Nun is just terrifying. I understand why The Nun has now gotten 2 films completely on its own. On September 15th, guys, we get 2 more movies. The first one is called The Retirement Plan. This is about Nicolas Cage being an assassin. The movie trailer looks hilarious. Nick Cage has white lawn hair in this movie, and I haven't been able to see every new release that Nick Cage has put out this year, but I did get a chance to check out his Renfield movie, and I absolutely loved it. And so he's just been bringing great characters to life in the last couple of years, and I'm hoping The Retirement Plan is one of those movies as well. The next movie coming out on September 15th is going to be A Haunting in Venice, and this is, of course, a follow-up to both Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile. Now, Murder on the Orient Express I thought was absolutely phenomenal. I loved that movie so much that I put Death on the Nile on my most anticipated movies when it came out, and then that movie ended up on the worst movies of the year list. So Couldn't have predicted that. But with all that said, this is the same character of Perot, I don't know how to say his name, the guy with the gigantic mustache, and he is from the Agatha Christie novels, and he is going to a haunting in Venice. So it's kind of cool that they've taken this murder mystery concept and they've now spun it to a horror concept. I mean, I know that's what the book is, but it's cool that it came from like, okay, you've got this detective and this detective story on a train and then a detective story in Egypt. And so instead of making it bland where it's just another detective story, you've added a horror element to it. You put it out in the middle of September, which is a great time for it. I'm looking forward to A Haunting in Venice. On September 22nd, guys, we get 3 more movies, the first of which is a horror film, kind of keeping in line, like leading up to Halloween, there is a horror film almost every weekend, and that's fine with me as a huge horror fan. That horror movie on the 22nd is called It Lives Inside. And this is a movie about a demon with Indian folklore that's going after a bunch of girls. I really don't know much more about it other than that, but it kind of has a Bye Bye Man vibe to it. And Bye Bye Man was so bad, it was good. Like, no one would ever call it good, just to be clear. But Bye Bye Man is one of those movies where I could watch it just to have a good laugh. So that's kind of what this trailer looks like. I hope it's scary, I hope it's great, but it looks very Bye Bye Man-ish. The next movie coming out on September 22nd is going to be Dumb Money. This is a movie about the GameStop shares, the GameStop stocks going sky high when normal, regular people threw a ton of money into the share to bloat that thing up, and you saw these executives on Wall Street lose so much money. And it's a relatively new story, and it's a story that I was kind of locked into. So I am looking forward to seeing what they do with this movie. And yeah, it just looks like a good time. It's got Pete Davidson in it, it's got Seth Rogen in it, so I am very much so looking forward to Dumb Money. The final movie coming out on September 22nd is going to be The Expendables 4. Yeah, there are 4 of these things now. I have not actually seen the third one yet, so before that time, I own it. I'll have to sit down and watch it, but I really do enjoy the first 2 movies, so I'm hoping the third one is just as good, and then this 4th one, the trailers at least look very entertaining. I could watch Jason Statham beating up bad guys all day, especially because those bad guys aren't giant sharks. Talking about you, the Meg. Never make another one of those movies, please. But with all that said, guys, that is what's coming out on September 22nd. Let's move on to the final weekend. On September 29th, guys, we have one movie that I'm very much so looking forward to. It was a movie that was supposed to come out right before Halloween, but then Five Nights at Freddy's was like, nah, I'm taking that date. And so Saw X moved up. That's right, we're talking about Saw X, the 10th movie in the Saw franchise. This is a franchise that started almost 20 years ago, and it is still going strong. Yeah, it's had a couple of bumps along the way, but I am looking forward to Saw X. This movie is going to take place between the first and second Saw movies, which is a good thing because most of the people I talk to are like, yeah, I've seen like the first 3 Saws, and then I stopped. So this is good because it's going to be right there at the beginning. I just wonder how many people actually know that. But on that note, I want to share with you guys something that I shared in a video a couple of weeks ago, and that is that starting tomorrow, I'm going to start rewatching and reviewing all of the Saw films, all 9 of them, leading up to Saw X on September 29th. When we get there, I will watch and review that movie as well. And then right at the end of September, I'm going to put up a ranked list of all the Saw movies from worst to best, in my own personal opinion. I'm really looking forward to doing those videos with you guys over the month of September. If you're looking forward to those videos, make sure you're subscribed so you see those notifications. And if you like this video where we ran down all of the movies that are coming out in the month of September, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps the video, it helps the channel, and it helps me right here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Alright guys, we got to the end of the September 2023 movie releases. I'm looking forward to checking these movies out in theaters and reviewing them right here on this channel. Make sure you stop by this channel in the month of September for both those movie reviews and the movie reviews of the Saw movies that I'll be doing. If you liked this video and you want to check out my other videos where I've talked about upcoming movies, you can check right there. And then I also rank all of the movies that I watch each month from worst to best, and you can check those videos out right there.